What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. This video is something a little different I wanted to talk about. It's something that actually really only caught my eye because he's on my fucking fantasy team, but then I really came to realize that it pisses me off just for the simple fact that it makes no sense. And I just made a video a couple days ago about how Doug Pederson's an absolute bonehead, and this is only further proving my point that Doug Pederson has no idea what he's doing, because he does not use one of the best running backs in the NFL in Miles Sanders. Now, in my personal opinion, it could be argued that Miles Sanders could definitely be a top 10 running back in the NFL. I think he could squeak in near the end of that list, but nonetheless, he is a very good dual threat running back. He can run the ball very, very well, and he can receive the ball very, very well. There are running backs in the NFL that are very good, but they can't receive the ball as well as Miles Sanders can. So I think his dual threat capability is what makes him one of the best, and he is just not a focal point of the Eagles offense, and I don't fucking understand it. Regardless of my fantasy issues when it comes to Miles Sanders, it just blows my mind why they wonder they have no fucking success over there, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're not getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Once I really came to notice this trend that Doug Pederson thinks is a good idea, I decided to start to do some stat digging, and I actually came up with some interesting information that I wanted to share just to prove how under fucking utilized Miles Sanders is in that Eagles offense. So Miles Sanders has missed 3 games this year. So that would make sense as to why some of the stats are a little more skewed than not. But nevertheless, there are other running backs on this list that I'm about to name that would make that completely irrelevant. Here's my first list. Notable running backs that he has less touches than on the entire year. Like I said, Sanders has missed 3 games, but listen to the running backs on this list. I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. Joe Mixon, Myles Gaskin, Darrell Henderson, Latavius Murray, Nick Chubb, Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, David Montgomery, Todd Gurley, Ronald Jones, Jonathan Taylor, and Devin fucking Singletary. Miles Sanders has less touches than these guys. Let's look at who's on this list, all right? Joe Mixon has been out at least half the year at this point. I think he's been out since like week 6. Joe Mixon has not played a game in ages, and I don't think he's going to play the rest of the year. Yet Miles Sanders has less touches than him. Myles Gaskin, another pretty good running back. He's come to be a pretty good running back in this league, but he's missed quite a few games. Less touches than Myles Gaskin. He has less touches than Darrell Henderson, who's in probably the biggest rotating door of a running back committee there possibly is. Like, he somehow has less touches than Darrell Henderson. Nick Chubb, another guy who... very good running back. I'm not saying Miles Sanders is anywhere near as good as Nick Chubb is, but Miles Sanders has less touches than Nick Chubb has played fucking 5 games on the entire year, and Miles Sanders still has less touches than him. He has less touches than Adrian Peterson. He's like 49 years old. He has less touches than Frank Gore. He's like 50 years old. How do you have running backs in the league that are 55 years of age that are getting more touches than one of the most complete running backs in the NFL, and Miles Sanders? Doug Pederson, you wonder why you're a fucking idiot. You wonder why that offense has 0 success, because you don't give the ball to your best fucking player on your offense. You're telling me that Todd Gurley, who is on one of the most pass-first offenses in the entire NFL, on the Falcons, has more fucking touches than Miles Sanders. Todd Gurley, he's Mr. Arthritis, does not want to even play running back anymore. The dude literally is on the most pass-first team in the NFL. They're always fucking losing games. They're always having to pass the ball. Yet, Todd Gurley has more fucking touches than him. Todd Gurley has no reception. Like, he does not get the ball in the receiving game whatsoever over in Atlanta either. Let me get that straight. He does not get the ball in the receiving game. So this is just strictly Todd Gurley's rushing touches that he has more than Miles Sanders touches in general. Like, that's even worse. Like, Ronald Jones, all right, Ronald Jones has had a good year. I don't think he's better than Miles Sanders, but okay, Ronald Jones, he's had a good year, all right? I'll give him that at least. Jonathan Taylor, that dude cannot, he's another guy part of a running back committee, but he had the job in hand, and he fumbled the bag so bad. He fumbled that fucking job so hard, and he has less touches than him. And Devin Singletary on another pass-first offense, on another team that just doesn't use Devin Singletary. I feel like the Bills should use Devin Singletary so much more, but it's just he somehow has less touches than him. I'm so worked up right now, I can't even explain how aggravating it is to see this shit. So then the next list I want to look at is fucking worse. This is notable running backs he has less touches than, but has more yards. So these are running backs that will be on the previous list, but he has more yards than them. So he has more yards than Joe Mixon, even though Joe Mixon has more touches than him. More yards than Myles Gaskin, more than Darrell Henderson, more than Adrian Peterson, more than Darrell Henderson. Like, there are a number of guys on that list that he has less touches than, but has more yards. And he's missed 3 games. Like, the stats are there. He is great. They just don't use him. He has more yards than... like, it blows my fucking mind, man. The only guys from the first list that are not on the second list are Nick Chubb, David Montgomery, who only has about 15 more yards if I remember the stats correctly. I think David Montgomery only has like 15 more yards than Miles Sanders, so it's nothing. And Ronald Jones. So those 3 guys are the only 3 guys from the first list that don't make the second list. Miles Sanders, the proof is in the pudding with this guy. I mean, he's 4th in yards per attempt in the entire NFL. 4th. He has 5.3 yards per carry with 118 attempts. That puts him 27th with attempts. He has over 100 attempts, and yet he's 4th in the league for yards per carry. He has 631 yards on the entire year too. That makes him 19th. It's just, this guy does not get the ball. And to make it even worse, Miles Sanders, the snap percentage for the running backs in Philadelphia, Miles Sanders only gets 50% of the snaps. I'm not saying he should be out there for 95% of the plays on the freaking offense. I'm not. But he only gets 50% of snaps. Boston Scott, 37%. Corey Clement, 12%. And then they sprinkle in a little Jordan Howard for a nice little touch. It's like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Miles Sanders is only on the field 50% of the time. Do you not know who the fuck Miles Sanders is? You see him in practice every fucking day. I don't know. What more do you have to do? This team is a joke, man. Doug Pederson, you need to be fucking fired immediately. You're an idiot. If you're not fired, that team's in shambles, and this is the number one reason why, in my opinion. The number fucking one reason. That defense works their ass off week after week for Miles Sanders to not get the ball and for that offense to do fucking nothing, nothing every fucking week. And it's because of Doug Pederson. I'm so hurt up right now. This is one of those things that pisses me off so much. If I was Miles Sanders, I would be up in that fucking office screaming every fucking week, man. I want the ball. I want the ball. I want the ball. It would be another Stephon Diggs scenario all over again, except Stephon Diggs wasn't actually the crybaby. He just wanted the fucking football because he knew he was a good player. Miles Sanders should be doing the same fucking thing. All right, I'm just going to calm down now. That's my rant. Miles Sanders is the most underused, underutilized, best fucking running back in the NFL that just does not get the ball, and it will never make sense to me. The stats are there. The proof is in the pudding. Miles Sanders needs the ball if the Eagles want to be successful. If any Eagles fans come across this video, I would hope you realize that this trend is probably a major issue in your offense. Outside of the whole Carson Wentz issue, Miles Sanders not getting the ball is definitely a big problem. Let me know what you guys think down below. Who else do you think is underutilized in the NFL? Who else do you think deserves to get the ball more that does not get the ball enough and is resulting in a struggling offense? Let me know down below. If you agree with me, add somebody to the list. Maybe we'll do another video about it. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.